there's this video of Adele going around where she had like a T-shirt cannon and she was shooting out shirts to her fans, and but she had a message for everybody, because I guess there's this thing where people are just throwing shit on stage at singers.
Yeah.
So this is her response to that.
Have you noticed how people are like forgetting fucking show etiquette at the moment? People are throwing shit on stage. Have you seen that? I fucking dare you. Dare you to throw something at me and I'll fucking kill you. Stop throwing things at the artist, but you can shoot things at me.
So she's shooting shirts out, but yeah.
It's quite all reverse. I've got to go back over and give my T-shirt come back. I've been seeing it. These people have lost it. Can you imagine?
Yeah, so what she's talking about is there's an artist named Baby Rexha who was recently struck in the face.
I think her name is BB.
BB? Oh, yeah. See, I wouldn't know, but
is it spelled baby?
B-E-B-E.
That's your version of baby?
Bebe. I don't know. Is it Bebe's Kids? That's how I
don't know.
I went
maybe.
off of. You remember Bebe's Kids?
Yeah, she got hit with a phone.
Yeah,
I watched TMZ.
Okay, yeah. So hit with a cell phone. Ava Max, a singer, was scratched inside of the eye after a fan slapped her. There's this video of Pink where somebody threw
ashes.
Yeah,
TMZ.
the mother's ashes. I know.
I know it all.
I
know it all. I just wish. It's the greatest gig in the world being a pop singer like Adele. The reason it's the greatest gig in the world is you've got your songs, and your songs are always there. And then in between, a lot of them are doing a lot of patter in between their songs now. But they don't have to be entertaining. They don't have to be smart. They don't have to be almost anything. They just have to be sort of mildly interesting, and the audience fucking eats it up, but their song is always sitting there.
Yeah, well,
so it's just if
Pearl Jam's the king of that. Eddie
Are they?
Vedder's always like, it was last year, we got invited to the White House. Boo!
All right.
And one thing about politics is it's not for everybody. Yay! This is elderly woman behind the counter in a small town. You're like, what?
Yeah. He gets to do it.
Talking about?
Bruce Springsteen may have started it with they closed the mill down.
When I was growing up, we don't care. My old man used to say, when you going to cut your hair? Fuck your old man. Play Candy's Room.
I know. And it's BB, yeah. But BB Rex, the point, it's a TMZ thing. The point is you say mildly amusing. They're not even mildly amusing. If that was in your set, someone would throw a fucking chair at you when you're up there. But if you have Born to Run just sitting, just right to your right, and it's basically the break in case of emergency. It's just a glass with a fire extinguisher in it, and you can talk about the factories, you can talk about your old man, you can talk about the Vietnam War, you can talk about the Jersey Shore, and the second you feel a little air come out of the room, because Jay's been up on stage enough to have that feeling. You know that feeling, like a little air comes out, you just yell, 2, 3, 4, the first lick. Like, could you imagine, as a performer, if you're trying out some new material, talking about something, feeling the audience shifting a little bit, losing a little momentum, and then you just strike a chord, and the entire place stands up and erupts.
Reset.
I saw Ozzy at BlizzCon one year, and I went just to watch him do War Pigs, right? I saw the set list when I was on stage, and I saw War Pigs was third. Starts at 7. Sharon doesn't fuck around. He's going to be on stage at 7. So I go, you know what? I'll walk out of my hotel at 7. So I got the tail end of whatever was before War Pigs. He was shooting water, like a giant water cannon at the crowd going, come on! Come on! Like, imagine you're on stage and you're on improv and a joke doesn't go over and you just go, come on! And they're all like, oh, we're sorry. We're sorry. We didn't realize we were supposed to be fired up for that joke. Come on!
Oh, he doesn't have to call me Carolla.
You can go. Or
he has that ripcord.
Yeah.
Raymond J. Johnson Jr.
Carolla.
Set.
She's just talking about nothing. A lot of these people are just talking about nothing, but no one ever, then everyone thinks they're funnier than they are, but they're not really doing anything that's that funny.
We've come a long way. I remember not too long ago, I shared a bed with a guy that had crabs. And I put ammonia on the crab, and the crab crawled back onto his ball sack. This is even flow.
What would Tony Bennett sound like with a little in-between song chatter?
I don't know if you're old enough to remember the Negro Leagues. But there was a guy named Josh Gibson.
Josh Gibson.
Gibson, boy, he led the Negro Leagues in doubles, home runs, and RBIs, but he couldn't eat in the restaurant on the way to the hotel. I'm Tony Bennett for Black Information Network. Mr. Saturday Dance.
Who was the Gibson who was the pitcher?
Bob Gibson.
Bob Gibson, who would know what his sponsor was?
No.
He would do Brimatine Mist.
Wow.
An inhaler. Asthma inhaler. There's a commercial of Bob Gibson.
Okay, this brings us to an old More Stories topic, which was what's the greatest celebrity endorsement because of its strangeness? And the finals were like Earl Campbell for Skoll.
Skoll, brother.
Because he's on the beach by himself.
Yeah.
Goes behind a rock, puts a pinch between his cheek and gum, walks back out with two blondes.
Right.
And he's like, hey,
Skoll, brother.
pinch between my cheek
I
and
think
gum.
he says Skoll, brother.
Joe Montana for Ruse.
Oh, Ruse, right.
Right?
The shoes.
Carl Malone, LA Gear. Played in Utah for LA Gear.
I don't want to be a one-upper.
Yeah, no, please.
I got to go Phil Rizzuto for the money store.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably a winner.
Because there's no association between baseball
The Money Store.
and the money store.
Whoa! You,
Phil-
Huckleberry White?
I'm Phil Rizzuto.
Oh, I grew up with Phil Rizzuto, Bill White, and Frank Messer doing the three-man booth, and they were the most opposite guys. Bill White was like Colin Powell White. Mm-hmm. Like and I think he ran the league for a little while, and you would never know. Like when you saw a picture of him, you were stunned that he was a black guy.
Right.
And then Frank Messer was like the old, like, mortician-looking drunk. Mm-hmm. And then there was Phil Rizzuto who didn't know what fucking planet he was on. And he'd say, holy cow. Frank Messer's was, A, B, see you later.
Yeah, right. All you needed, like, you can call me Ray. I mean, at least...
You can call me Otani. You can call me Shohei.
Chick Hearn, Chick Hearn for the Lakers had the mustard off the hot dog. He would have
the Jello's jiggling, the butter's hard.
Right. He'd have that. He'd have he'd have like a butters on the popcorn, but blows the cha-cha. That'd be like a dipsy doodle, but you didn't make it. He had like 5.
Yeah.
And that was more than anyone else had. And he's a legend just because of those. He had like 5 Ray J. Johnson Jr.'s.
They weren't forced. Like Vin Scully had the best ones ever. Like, he's with a strained hamstring. He's day to day. I guess we're all day to day. It's like, wow. I remember my friend Jeremy Guthrie was pitching against the Dodgers, and I'm like, wow, I'm going to hear Vin Scully say my buddy's name. He goes, what was it? Jeremy Guthrie's father is a car dealer in Ashland, Oregon. There's a Cadillac at the belt for strike 1.
Oh, wow.
It's like, God damn. What was Chad Billingsley threw 30 pitches in the first inning, and he's up to his elbows in alligators here in the second.
His greatest one was when he was talking about socialism.
Oh, I don't know it.
You ever hear that one?
It got political.
When he got political toward the end.
Oh, I met him at a Dodger game.
Find Vin Scully. All right.
He goes,
Bob Gibson, Primatine Mist. And then we need Vin Scully, I think, toward the end.
Socialism.
Gives a dig on socialism.
Vin Scully spoke like that all the time. I met him at a Dodger game, and we were like off to the side, just like, I'm like, fuck it. I go, hey, nice to meet you. Blah, blah, this is my son, whatever. And he goes, where do you live, Jay? I go, I live in the Palisades. Well, my wife and I used to live in the Palisades. And if we still lived there, well, you and I would be neighbors.
Oh.
I was like, God damn, this guy's the best.
Yeah, everything he says sounds profound.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, but it kind of, unlike, today's sort of Kamala Harris circle talk jerk.
Yeah, Kamala Harris is masturbation material.
This was profound. If we find him, he must have had some batter up from like the Dominican or Cuba or something. Maybe it was a place where there was socialism. He ends up talking about the. All right, here it is. I think
Nice.
this is great.
Good work, boys.
Carter at first, nobody out. 0-1. Perez, 25 years old, originally drafted by the Tigers, lives in Venezuela. Boy, can you imagine you're a young kid playing in the United States, you're from Venezuela, and every time you look at the news, it's a nightmare. A bunt attempt is missed. Runners for holding, 0-2.
This is pre-pitch clock, obviously.
Socialism failing to work as it always does, this time in Venezuela. You talk about giving everybody something free and all of a sudden there's no food to eat. And who do you think is the richest person in Venezuela?
Adam Carolla.
The daughter of Hugo Chavez. Hello. Anyway, 0-2.
Hello. Anyway, 0-2. That was some fucking social commentary shoehorned
He just sneaks
into
it
the
in.
fourth inning right there.
He's not wrong.
That's older Vin going, I'm a fucking legend. I'm a legacy. I've got tenure. What are you going to do? Fire me? No way.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, wait. We have Bob Gibson and Primate. This is Primatine missed.
Primatine or Brimatine?
I called it Primatine, but it was Primatine. Oh, I corrected myself, is what I'm saying.
Oh, my God.
I'm Bob Gibson. My fastball isn't so fast anymore, but this is Primatine Mist, the fastest type relief known for occasional bronchoasthma attacks. Restores free breathing as fast as 15 seconds. And Primatine tablets help prevent attacks for hours.
Speed.
In the lungs, Primatine opens clogged tubes, relaxes bronchial spasms,
I
restores
remember
free
watching
breathing.
this going, man, I
Get
wish I
fast
had
relief.
asthma.
Primatine Mist.
Also, Primatine tablets.
The drug
Primatine
addict.
tablets had to be just,
The drug addict just saw that and went, speed.
yeah.
I'll take a whole bunch of those. Let's
Yeah,
let's
the
write a
Primatine
book.
tablets were probably caffeine and gypsum, like formed into a pill. Whatever's in drywall. I can't imagine what's in that tablet. By the
It's just
way,
speed.
both over the counter, but the fucking crab shampoo? No. Note
Rid.
from the doctor.
Rid.
I think it was Rid back then. too,
Adam
yeah.
Carolla, the batter, his roommate had crabs. I don't get it.
You call it roommate. It was the dude sleeping on my bed.
What was Ray doing?
With me. He
Ray
was
probably
sleeping
gave
on
it
his
to him.
mom's bed.
Ray gave them to him, bro. Don't get Warwick started.
All right, let's do one
Speaking
more.
of athlete endorsements, Todd Gurley for Carl's Jr. too. That was a good
Oh,
one.
that's right. That was a good campaign.
I like,
like
that,
that?
one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Todd got to town.
They were sneaky. They brought back Bob Sugar without bringing back Bob Sugar.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, that was a great
Neil
bit.
Brennan directed it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But it was funny.
Yeah. Welcome to Los Angeles, Todd. Like, never mentioned the Rams. Mm-hmm. It was Los Angeles.
Right.
And it was just assumed that my sweaty, fucking drug-addled body and face was Bob Sugar.
Yeah, I recognized you.
Yeah.
All right.
And I
one
remember the
more.
big
It was like
controversy.
CGI, right?
No, and he fucking ate it. I was there.
Okay.
The internet exploded
That's
like,
it,
he's
yeah.
eating a fake burger. And then he took a fake shit. Sorry to work blue.
By the way, I
yeah?
loved you in Air. That's all
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, son.
Yeah, that was a great movie, and you were great in it. And
I haven't seen it yet. I gotta see it.
Oh, please.
You haven't
It's
seen it
great.
yet.
It was an offer, too, so I was real fat. I was up 50 pounds from here.
Really, 50 pounds.
I was like 238.
Yeah, I noticed you. Yeah, you lost.
Yeah, you lost a lot of weight.
Swimming in planks.
Planking and swimming, right?
That's what's up. Little hard work. But you know what? I went from coaching wrestling on speed to AA meetings, 3 a day, where they serve cake.
I tell people the same thing. I was poor. I taught boxing in the mornings, and then I was a carpenter all day and had no fucking money. Of course, I was fucking shredded when I was 28. That's all I did was teach boxing all day and then swing a hammer all day and then come home and eat like a can of Dinty Moore stew and go to bed.
Like I swung that hammer at night.
Couldn't go out to eat, couldn't do anything. Then I got into fucking radio where you just sit in an air-conditioned room and complain all day, and I got rich. And then you start going on sets and there's craft service and everything. It's like, all right, it's
Deviled
on.
eggs and sliced cucumbers.
Just
bags of chips.
Bags of everything. The thing about the set,
it's been 2 hours. You guys probably need some quesadillas.
This is the thing about the set.
Yeah.
You go, look, I'm not going near that craft service table because I'll fucking dig in and they have Reese's Pieces over there. They got the pretzels with the peanut butter in them. I'm not even going near there. I'm just going to stay on set here. I'm not going to Crafty. And you're sitting there, and then you're sitting there with Jimmy or Dennis or Daniel or whatever. You're having this meeting, with the director and stuff like that. And you're talking, and there's like a tap on the shoulder, and you turn around. Here comes the tray of quesadillas and the smoothies
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches,
and they're just pushing them at you, and you're like, oh, the fucking mountain has come to Muhammad.
Yeah.
And now it's an offering. It's quesadillas pushed in front, literally. You guys are in a huddle. I'm going to pierce the huddle with quesadillas. And now you're staring at it and you go, well, I said I wasn't going to Crafty, but if Crafty's coming to me.
And if you turn it down, you look like a maniac emperor, no, bring me the head of Jokanan.
That's right. I don't want to offend the woman. So, yeah.
That smoothie's only good for like a few minutes.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. We got Stephen Root, who's
so great.
Waiting out there.
Yeah.
So let's do one more story.
Well, you mentioned this one earlier, so we'll just get into it. So the Earth.
Hold on. Why'd you give me a piece of paper and a pen?
We were going to play the Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
It's okay. We'll play next time. Mm-hmm. The Earth's average temperature reached an all-time high on Monday last week, and then again on Tuesday in what is shaping up to be a year of record-breaking heat. Monday's global average temperature of 62.62 degrees Fahrenheit was exceeded Tuesday when it reached 62.92 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So,
seems low.
All right. Okay. I got this to say as I was driving home from Vegas.
LA's been freezing. What the fuck are they talking about?
We've had winter, yeah.
It was like 116 on my way home from Vegas. And I remember making that drive when I was young in like a Nissan pickup truck and stuff. You literally just stared at the temp gauge in the car. You didn't even look at the roads. Like it's 100 degrees outside. It's 120 degrees outside. I'm just going to stare at that needle because if it starts creeping up, we're pulling over. But I got water. I got radiator fluid with me, like in the back of the bed and stuff like that. And I realized, and no air conditioning in the truck either. But as I'm driving home, at literally 2 p.m. through Death Valley, air conditioning blowing in the car, looking at the temp gauge, hasn't moved. It was 117 degrees outside. The temp gauge is still running cool. I'm like, technology overcomes this shit. You couldn't live here in the past. Now you can live here in the past. And I feel the same way about global warming. I'm not a fan of it. I think it's blown out of proportion. You can't make announcements that the world's going to end every 8 years and expect people to fucking listen after 50 years because I grew up with a hippie mom and the same line of bullshit. We went from ice age to global warming. We made it from everything's going to be frozen to everything's going to be baked. But either way, I have faith in technology. Like you can live in Nevada now because you can build a home with blown cellulose insulation in the side and R30 rolled insulation up top or expanding foam and then 14 zones for air conditioning and solar panels and everything. Like you can, and a Tesla battery wall that's going to fire the air. Like you can do it now is what I'm saying. Just like the car could leave. If you were, when Ricky Ricardo and Lucille Ball were driving to Vegas in 1957 during July, you couldn't go. We're going to drive back to LA at noon. You go, no, we got to wait. Yeah. We got to wait till the sun goes down. We're going to fucking we're not making it to Baker. We'll make it to, we'll die. First off, we'll cook alive in this car that doesn't have air conditioning. And the second part is Flathead Ford's not going to make it without seizing. So you literally have to. Now you just leave when you want to leave, fire up the air, and the car never overheats. And it's technology. Like we beat it with technology, and that's what I think. I think that's what the future is.
Well, how come technology hasn't made air travel faster? Because like when the Beatles flew from JFK to LA, it took 5.5 hours, just like it does for me and you 40 years after the fact.
Right. Except for we get no comped drinks and a ton of attitude. So it makes up for it. Yeah, we get a hummus box, whereas they got a serving cart.
Hold on. You and I aren't getting a hummus box. Relax.
You want to pay an extra $9, you can get the hummus box.
Yeah, you and I we eat well on planes.
All right, here's my point.
Oh.
That is a decision. They had the Concorde. Concorde could do it in 2 hours. But they made a conscious decision, which is there's more broke people that want to travel than people that'll pay $9,000 to get to New York 4 hours faster.
Yeah.
So they went, we could do it. We're not going to do it. We've turned it. There's many, many more Americans that don't want to pay more than $200 for a trip to New York than there are that want to shave 3.5 hours off. I mean, the difference between the Concorde and commercials, the difference between private in commercial now. It's like we can all fly private. Everyone chips in $36,000. When we go to New York, people are like, let's just go United. So that's what it is. But the technology is there. It's the economics that have crept in and reared their ugly head.